The amygdala was absolutely essential for us. Also, when we started merging into tribes, let's say 10,000 years ago, 50,000 years ago, and we went less from like individual cavemen to like more tribes of 50, 100, the amygdala is also what really caused fear and pain inside of us when we would fear that our social status in the hierarchy was at risk. So that's something that is evolutionary inside of us, is that we are social creatures, and we all, no matter even if you don't want to believe it, we all subtly know where we are in the social hierarchy. Where we are in this hierarchy determines your mood. It determines how like happy you are. And there's real science. Jordan Peterson talks about this a lot. There's like serotonin and dopamine like that increases the higher you are in this social status. So essentially, the better that you are compared to other people, this is dark truths of human nature. We don't like to talk about like being better than anyone else, but this is the real truth. The better that we are than other people, the happier we feel, the more serotonin and like good hormones that are pumped inside of us, the more testosterone that we have, the better that we are. And so all those things are reversed the worse that we are compared to other people. Now, in our tribes of roughly 150 is like the magic number. 150 was usually our tribe number. You'd slowly, as a young person full of energy, full of ambition, slowly start moving up the ranks and feel pretty good about yourself. And sure, there might be like someone that you couldn't really beat. So you're a guy and he's just a little bit stronger. You're both like 21, ready to like, you know, marry this woman or something, and she chooses him. And, you know, fair enough, you went down one rank there. And that would have hurt. It would have been significant. But that's acceptable. That's, you know, that's life in a sense. What happens now is this guy, there's 50,000 of them on Instagram. And so you go onto Instagram and you see these guys, just so many of them who are doing better than you in a certain, you know, fake persona, because a lot of Instagram is inauthentic as well. And, you know, maybe they've rented that Lamborghini or some shit. You're seeing these guys who are doing better than you. And that part of your brain, the amygdala, just can't help but stay vigilant that you keep getting knocked down in the social hierarchy. Where does your amygdala think you are right now? Because our brains are only supposed to work for a tribe of 150. But you've probably seen, if you think about just randomly, like how many pictures of like attractive people, successful, muscular guys who look more bigger than you, who look stronger than you, who look more successful, who have got more women than you. How many of those pictures have you seen? I think it's actually realistic to say thousands, maybe tens of thousands. So now is it any wonder why it feels like we may have the symptoms of like ultra low serotonin and dopamine? Because our brains have not evolved for this level of technology. So when we see hot people on social media, it's way deeper and it's way more painful than it just seems. You know, you can see someone and there's this sort of conventional modern advice of like, yeah, you know, that's someone else and you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone else. That advice does not work. Humans do not ever enact that advice of like, you don't compare yourself to anyone else. That's complete bullshit. That's like a modern invention that is completely against our evolutionary nature. To be human is to compare. To be human is to compete. Anyone who tells you that I don't compete with anyone else, I'm just competing against myself, is fucking coping. It's impossible. You can't just compete against yourself. Especially the same people who say this are always on social media anyway, looking at other people anyway. So it's like, you can tell they're just fucking coping, rocking backwards and forth. Yeah, I only compete against myself. I only compete against it. Shut the fuck up. True power comes when you can admit that yes, my brain and my psyche has a tendency to compare me against